For years, I wanted to get jacked, but I couldn't because no one told me what I'm about to tell you now. If you had to put on as much muscle as possible in, let's say, 3 months, like your life depended on it, what would you do? Would you work out 2 times per day? Would you bulk and eat a ton of protein? Would you buy every single supplement off the shelf? Well, all those are dead wrong and they're not going to get you anywhere. See, what I'm about to tell you is going to allow you to make more progress than you've ever made in your life in the shortest amount of time possible without having to do any of those crazy things, working out twice per day or anything unnecessary. And it's actually going to be surprising how little you have to do to get insane results. Would it be fair to say that if you increased your lifts by 30 pounds across the board on all compound lifts, you would gain some muscle? Okay, right. So we agree that progressive overload is the key factor to drive muscle growth. So now it just comes down to how quickly you can actually progress and continually get stronger. And see, the thing is that all you guys are doing progressive overload dead wrong. If you're in the gym 5-6 times a week, if you're using multiple exercises with a ton of volume on every single muscle group, this is why you're small. If you were to just hop on the right progressive overload system, you'd not only be able to work out less, reduce your risk of injury, but you would also be making gains quicker than ever before, actually getting stronger on the lifts, which, as we just discovered and agreed on, is the main factor of growth. So this is exactly what allowed me to break a 3-year plateau and pretty much within a month or two add 20 to 30 pounds or more across all my lifts that I had plateaued on and thought I never could gain any more strength on. And before we dive into the progressive overload system that absolutely changed my life, if you want to get into the best shape of your life, get a 6-pack, add some serious muscle, then book a free coaching call down below where we're gonna set up a customized workout plan diving exactly into this and how to maximize it. So if you're even 1% serious about this, then you'll book that call down below. So what is this progressive overload system that's changed my life? Well, we gotta understand the Pareto principle, which is the 80-20 rule, which states that 80% of the results you get will come from 20% of the input that you do, the actions that you take. And this is so important when going into my progressive overload system because it's basically stating that all the junk volume, all the extra exercises, all the isolation you're doing for these main areas like chest, shoulders, back, legs are basically useless. That all the gains you're gonna get, most of them are gonna come from the key compound lifts. That is what's gonna drive the most muscle growth. And as we just discussed earlier, progressive overload is going to be the key way to gaining muscle and strength. So that is what we're going to be focusing on here. So you're going to choose 1 to 2 exercises per muscle group. So I'll give you my 2 for chest. Right now, I'm currently doing incline barbell bench, and I am doing ring dips weighted. So that hits the lower chest and the upper chest, and that's all I do. I don't do a single cable fly. I don't do anything else besides those 2 exercises. And then I work in the hypertrophic rep range of 8 to 12 reps. So what you can do is you're gonna find the amount of weight that you can do 8 reps at, and then you hit failure. This is your starting weight. So let me just give you an example. I'm currently at 165 for 11 on the incline barbell bench. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna find the starting weight and you're gonna progress up until you get to 12. Then once you get to 12 with that weight, you can then up the weight 5 or 10 pounds, whatever you feel is appropriate. So right now I'm at the upper range. So as soon as I hit 12 reps with 165, I'll probably jump to 175. And then I'll go for 8 reps there. And what this does is this allows you to safely progressive overload because you might, if you're more of a beginner and a novice, you'll be flying through the weight pretty quick and that's fine. But if you're more advanced and you're hitting a plateau, it's gonna allow you to ingrain this amount of weight into your neurological your central nervous system and allow the muscle to adapt to this weight and actually be able to push it and get strong at it. So if you hit like 185 one time, it's not actually ingrained into your muscle. You got lucky that one day, maybe you were feeling a little strong, you were good on carbs, you had good energy, a bunch of caffeine, who knows? But when you can consistently push the same weight, your body is like, okay, we got this weight down. And when you're doing it at this high rep range, Now increasing the weight 10 pounds and dropping the weight just a little bit is not that hard, and it allows you to actually start going through these rep ranges with new weights because you're taking your time. You're not just jumping weights instantly. You're not saying, oh, I got 165 for 11, that's a lot, let's go to 175. It's like, no, really make sure that you hit each amount of reps that you need to within this progressive overload scheme. So you go from 8 to 12. If you do that in one workout, if it's just like if you hit 165 for 12, for example, on the first time you're supposed to go to 165, that's fine. That means that weight's too light for you and you need to go up. But for example, even if you hit 11 and you didn't hit 12, you still need to hit that next workout with hitting 12 because that's allowing it to really make sure that you've locked in this weight. Once you're in that higher rep range, you'll start noticing that the light weight starts getting heavier and heavier over time and you start getting really, really strong. Your 1 rep max would probably be crazy, but that's not going to really drive any gains. That's one of the things that I was obsessed with when I was younger, was getting the 1 rep maxes and trying to impress my friends. Now that doesn't matter. I'm stronger than I am now. I mean, this is obviously a long time ago with the 165 for all these reps than I used to be back in the day. I used to not even hit 165 for 1. So this shows you how powerful this system is if applied the right way. You can really start using lighter weight at a higher rep range and getting more gains, especially once this weight starts increasing and increasing. You're gonna start repping out your 1 rep maxes from back in the day. And it's gonna be crazy. And this is actually what's gonna allow you to get stronger because the hypertrophic rep range is where most of the gains are made. You're not gonna make gains with 1 rep maxes, and you're also not gonna make gains by destroying your muscles every single workout with tons of volume. If you think you need to do the bench press or like 3 variations of bench press, I know guys who did that back from my past, and then you go to cable flies, and then you do push-ups, and it's like, that's way too much. You're not allowing the body to actually get stronger on any of these lifts. You're probably using the exact same weight across most of these lifts. Maybe you get a tiny bit stronger, but it's not going to drive a lot of growth that's actually going to, progressive overload and cause any real substantial gains. So that's the whole system, is we're focusing on the 20% that will get us, the 20% of inputs that will get us 80% of the results, and we're just maximizing those. So it's really that simple. And another key thing is understanding that muscles take a long time to recover. So 48 to 72 hours is what gives you about an adequate recovery. But adequate is not full recovery. So if you really need to hit that next PR, you want to be fully recovered and in the best shape that you can be in. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit harder for you. So full recovery comes at about 5 to 10 days. So I'm not saying to take 10 days between your workouts, but it's something to consider, where it's like if you're struggling, like today I hit 11 again. On the 12th rep, I actually failed on incline barbell bench, and I had to drop it down to my lap and then throw it off because I don't have a spotter. So doing that, now I know I actually should probably take a couple extra rest days before I try to do this again for that 12th rep and hit that 165 for 12. So giving yourself extra rest time between is really going to be important as well, to make sure your muscles are fully recovering. This is going to prevent injuries, and it's going to keep you in the gym for longer. So this is the exact progressive overload system I used to break through plateaus. This is the best thing I've ever done, and it's gotten me stronger than ever before. I've actually started making gains in areas that I didn't think I could gain any more muscle. Like one area is my shoulders. The strength that I've increased here has been insane. I've seen the results. They look much better than when I was not doing anything like this and just kind of messing around, tons of exercises, hitting all the junk isolation, just simplifying this process, tracking it, making sure that I'm hitting the amount of reps or the weight that I need has been what's driven all the growth that I've had recently. So once again, if you want my help to maximize your gains in the gym, then book that coaching call down below. If you're even half serious, taking knowledge from someone who is further ahead than you is the smartest thing you could do. So go ahead and book that call right now. And if this video provided you with any value, go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel. On here, I'm teaching you how to become the best version of yourself and conquer your life in every single aspect between your mind, body, and spirit. So if that sounds of interest, go ahead and subscribe to this channel.